Essential and NestGen Xpress, and we are at booth 3909, excited to talk about a groundbreaking new drone docking station that can charge not only one but two drones at once and support multiple drone models. And to tell us all about it, I am thrilled to welcome Sean, the CEO and founder of CounterDrone. Sean has an impressive background serving as a former US Air Force pilot and FAA certified commercial pilot, as well as providing engineering services to multiple US government agencies under counter unmanned aerial system contracts for the past 6 years. Plus, he's also been building custom drones for the last 9 years. So let's give a warm welcome to Sean. Hello, Sean. How are you today?
Hi, Vishali. Thank you very much. I'm well. I appreciate that introduction.
Oh, yeah, the cameras. That's
okay. Thanks.
All right. So thank you again, Sean. We're pleased to have you, as well as the Omnidock at our booth. I know the audience cannot see it, but it's there. So come by, drop by booth 3909 if you want to get a glimpse. So let's just dive into the questions. Let's start with why did you get into building drone docking stations? What brought you to it?
So our original intent was to integrate autonomous drones into security and public safety missions. And the first thing we realized is that a weatherproof, rugged docking station is a requirement for those type of missions. So we set out to design a dock that could deploy drones very quickly, that can also allow drones to stay powered on 24/7, and maintain a GPS fix so that they can launch at a second's notice in mission critical scenarios. So we went with a clamshell dome design primarily out of weather considerations, as it's highly resistant to wind from any direction. Moisture doesn't accumulate on top of it. And then we knew we needed the material to be transparent to radio frequencies so that the drone can stay powered on, have its GPS fixed. So that was our original design intent. We realized that with the circular floor, we have a lot of landing area. And so we found that we could make a dock that could accommodate a larger drone like an M30 or two smaller drones at the same time. It's two Mavic-sized drones. So we decided to make the Omnidock such that you can easily swap its configuration by changing out the landing floor. So you can buy the dock configured for an M30, and then down the road, if you want two Mavics instead, you simply change the floor out. It's very, very simple, very user-friendly. So, but the intent is to be completely drone agnostic. If a drone can fit inside the Omnidock, we can integrate it to charge. So we currently have integrated the DJIs. We've integrated our own custom-built Pixhawk-based craft, and this year we're going to be integrating Parrots as well as Autel, and really any drone that someone would like to integrate. We're interested in integrating. Our intent is to be open to all drones that can fit.
Thanks, Sean, for explaining that. My next question was around that Omnidock being hardware agnostic. You already mentioned about the range of drones that it can support. So why do you think that is important to have versatility? How does it enhance the overall functionality of the system?
It gives end users options. And the fact is there's certain considerations in certain countries about DJI drones, and so we are starting to see an increase in the use of US built drones and Israeli built drones and other craft. So we want people to have the option. So I guess that's the reason behind being agnostic.
So if there is one particular USP or feature that you would like to highlight about Omnidock, what would that be, and how does it differentiate from the other docking stations in the market?
So one of the obvious features is the way it actuates. It's fast. It takes less than 3 seconds for the dock to open or close. But it also, when it actuates, it doesn't take up any more space. So wherever you put the dock, it can open and close. If it fits somewhere, it's the same size when it opens and closes. And so if you put it in the back of a truck, it opens and closes just fine in the back of the truck. So that's something that we've noticed about, other docks tend to get larger when they open or close. Right. And so we wanted something that you could put somewhere and actuate it if it fit there.
That does sound interesting. So could you describe discuss some of the specific use cases where Omnidock is being deployed, and how does the system is being integrated in various industries?
So one of our very first deployments was with the University of New Mexico Campus Police. And we have been doing a trial with them now for over a year with Mavix, and it has enhanced their ability to respond to emergency situations, and they've been very happy with it. It's been maintenance free. It's one of our early prototype units, but after that we started to get more interest from the public safety sector. Right. In the U.S., our U.S. customers have been mostly public safety, but our new customers overseas are an array of inspection and surveying. Mostly drone service providers seem to be the most interested in the dog to be used in a multitude of different missions.
Right. That sounds right. And given moving forward, security is going to become one of the major use cases for deploying drone docking stations in general, and Omnidock, I'm sure, will have also see such deployments. And for Omnidock, what is the training and maintenance like? Like, how frequently does the maintenance cycle need to be conducted? And can the teams do it themselves, like the team where the station is being deployed and the security personnel, can they do it themselves? Or is there a learning curve to use the docking stations?
So the Omnidock is extremely easy to use. It's very user-friendly. We do have a manual, but there's really no training required. When the dock arrives, it's in the open position when you unpack it and you plug it in. And once it's plugged in, its LTE router will get a connection to the cloud servers. It's very easy to add it to FlightNow, to register it. You can be up and running in a matter of minutes from when it arrives. As far as after that, there's really not any user maintenance other than once a year. We recommend changing the air filters for the heating and cooling system. It can be done by the user. It's under the floor. There's 2 filters, but that's really the only operator level maintenance that occurs. The design is such that there's no requirement for any kind of lubrication. It's a very, very robust and relatively simple design, that there's not a lot that breaks. So
okay.
Yeah, we've had good success with that. Now, in certain environments, we may recommend changing the filters every 6 months if it's very dusty, but that's really the only maintenance that's at that level.
That sounds great. I think most people do not like systems that have a lot of moving parts in it and require high maintenance, because what's the point if you're deploying it remotely and if you need to send people to just every 2 to 3 months to keep maintaining it? It defeats the purpose. So I think that this is something that is a great thing that you've brought, put the maintenance very low for these systems. All right, moving on to the final question for the day. If you looking into the future, how do you see the docking station technology evolving in the coming years, and where do you envision Omnidock playing a role in it?
Mm-hmm. So we're seeing an incredible increase in the interest in docking stations this year. We've been working on this for almost 3 years, and it had been kind of slow going. Up until 2023, we've really seen an interest in docks, because the fact is you cannot have autonomy without it.
Right.
It is a requirement to be truly autonomous. So my prediction is sometime in the next 5 years or less, we're going to see 100,000 docking stations being sold per year globally. There's going to come a point where most commercial drones are equipped and ready to use docking stations. And now we're in the infancy of this new industry, right? So we're DJI, the world leader for drones, has now released their very first docking station. So where we see Omnidock fitting is in multi-role drone use cases. We aim to be the go-to for an open source, open architecture docking station that can accommodate any drone that will fit inside of it. And that can be used for a host of different missions. I mean, we envision a network of Omnidocks where you could have a drone deploy from one dock and go land in another dock while the other drone is flying some unrelated mission.
Right.
And I think that most of us that are in this industry know that that's what's coming, right? There's about to be a lot more drones in the air over the next few years. And so we produce homes for those drones to live and charge in. And that's how we see our place in this emerging market.
That definitely makes a lot of sense. I think hopping is going to be one of the future use cases. If you are deploying drones across pipelines that span, say, thousands of kilometers, you need to, the drone needs to take off from one dock, go land on another, charge, and then continue the mission, so on and so forth. I think there are exciting times ahead. And thank you again, Sean, for your time today and discussing about Omnidock. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of successful deployments in the future. So thanks again.
Well, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you having me.
All right.